What is going on, everyone? Now that we've had 24 hours to digest the Houston Texans 24-21 loss against the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Texans now find themselves 6-5, third place in the AFC South and ninth place overall in the AFC. This Sunday against the Denver Broncos has now become a must-win if you are thinking about playoffs, because they are one seed above you, 8th seed in the AFC, and are on a 5-game winning streak. Man, I love the amount of big games that this young Houston Texans team has been in all season, coaching-wise as well. We are getting so much experience, and it's going to bode well for the future, guys. But we are going to talk about the defeat yesterday. We're going to talk about the refs at the very end, because there were still other reasons why we lost this game. Welcome, everyone, to the 713 Houston Sportcast. I am your host, Ruben Calavillo. I drop daily Houston Texans content, win, lose, or draw. So make sure you guys are following me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok for the latest news, rumors, and updates. And if you guys are new here to the channel, welcome. We just hit 8,000 subscribers, trying to hit 9K by weeks 13 or 14. Please help me get there. And thank y'all so much if you were part of the live stream yesterday, and if you were a part of my Bleacher Report post game. It means a lot. Let's go ahead and start with the video. Now, one key factor that I think contributed to yesterday's loss against Jacksonville, the battle in the trenches was won by the Jaguars on offense and on defense. Starting with the Houston Texans offensive line performance, it was not good in pass protection or run blocking, which was surprising. The O-line has been on it as of late, and if you go all the way back to week 3 against the Jaguars, there was no Laramie Tunsil, no Titus Howard, no Juice Scruggs, and C.J. Stroud was touched 0 times. Flash forward to yesterday, 4 sacks by this Jacksonville Jaguars defense. It could have been more, but C.J. Stroud showed you elite pocket movement. He showed you that he could make plays with his legs, extending them. C.J. Stroud's performance yesterday, continues to add to the legend of how good he has done. Only year 1, but playing like an MVP, man. Shout out to C.J. Stroud's performance yesterday, because he did it all for the Houston Texans. Switching to the D-line, there was no pressure on Trevor Lawrence despite them losing their left tackle, Cam Robinson. What is going on, Jonathan Gennard? You were silent yesterday, as well as Will Anderson, in terms of putting pressure on the quarterback. These edges were not there yesterday. Neither was the interior D-line of Malik Collins and Sheldon Rankins. Trevor Lawrence had all the time in the world to sit back there and dissect the Houston Texans secondary. 364 yards, 1 touchdown by Sunshine, and it just was not a good showing by this D-line, man, which is surprising. The trench battle is a huge reason why the Houston Texans lost yesterday in Jacksonville. Another reason I think that contributed to the loss, questionable play calling. Bobby Slowick. I was very surprised how this offense played out. What happened to the run game? 2 back-to-back 100-plus yard performances by Devin Singletary. He won AFC Offensive Player of the Week, but only got 6 carries yesterday for 18 yards. Dameon Pierce, welcome back. 5 carries, 14 yards. What happened with this rushing attack? Where has it been, and why did it disappear? It has been working the previous 2 weeks. The 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1 in the 4th quarter. The fade route to Dalton Schultz on 4th and 1. I didn't understand it. And where was Dalton Schultz, a guy who regularly leads this team in targets? Only 2 yesterday. That is crazy. Dalton Schultz has been having himself a damn good season. Very surprised he was not involved in yesterday's game plan. Your second leading receiver, man, was Devin Singletary. 6 catches for 54 yards, and 33 of it came off of a screen. I am very surprised the way yesterday's game plan went, because you abandoned the run. And why do you not give it to Dameon Pierce or Devin Singletary on that 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1, do you not have any faith in your running backs to get 1 yard? Very confusing to me. Another thing that people want to talk about, the decision to have Matt Amendola kick a 58-yard field goal when he's never made anything above 49 in his career. On 4th and 12, I thought the Houston Texans were going to put the ball in C.J. Stroud's hands and have him try to convert. If he doesn't, game is over. Now, you can't argue with the kick. I mean, a doink, it would have been his career long, a big moment. Not having Kaimi Fairbairn really does hurt you. It is crazy that the Houston Texans lost this game because they didn't have their kicker. I know for a fact Kaimi Fairbairn drills both those field goals. Now, I'm not mad Amendola missed the 58-yarder. I'm mad he missed the one earlier because it would have been a tie football game. We're heading into overtime. A lot of people were questioning Demeco Ryans' decision to take C.J. Stroud off and try to hit a 58-yard fielder with Matt Amendola. I'm torn on this. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Because you cannot argue with the kick. You cannot argue with the doink that missed inches. But then again, you took the ball out of C.J. Stroud's hands and he looked frustrated. He did. He looked upset. What did he say last week? Steph Curry does not get upset when he misses. I'm going to let it fly. That's one that we are going to talk about today on the Believe podcast. Believe in Texans podcast with my boy Harley. Now let's get to the officials. I'm not a blame the ref guy, and I would never ever blame the refs after today, because I just mentioned 3 to 4 reasons why we lost this game. Now there's obviously much more reasons why, but when you talk about yesterday's officiating performance, it was very bad. I used to be a ref myself. Shout out to Tasso here in Texas and Houston. And one thing that we were taught, do not be a factor in the game and never do makeup calls. The refs were a factor yesterday. Taking away 70 yards from Tank Dell. The big 60-yard bomb that he caught over the Jacksonville defender. They throw a penalty on him when I've seen Tyreek Hill do the exact same thing 100 times. Very ticky-tack. The other play, Tank Dell was clearly in bounds. I don't know how we are in 2023 and we cannot get an angle like that, but huge plays were taken away from the Houston Texan offense. And I know what Jacksonville is going to say. What about that non-holding call on Jalen Petrie that led to the Derek Stingley interception? I'll counter that. What about the 2 pass interference calls, one on number 30, the other one on Tavierre Thomas? And we got to talk about Tavierre Thomas having a horrible game, despite the very questionable PI calls, leading to 2 touchdowns for Jacksonville. The holding call on Steven Nelson. What? There were 4 calls on 3rd down for the Jacksonville Jaguars offense, extending their drives. That is crazy. You want to talk about the false start that wasn't called on the backup left tackle? The refs were a factor why you lost this game, man, but I just hate to be a blame the ref guy. And I probably won't ever do it again, but I was just so frustrated. And it's not like I'm the only one. Analysts, commentators, other apps, other teams, our players were frustrated. But you only lost by 3. You only lost by 3. The Houston Texans team is for real, ladies and gentlemen. And I cannot wait for the future. We have another tough one this week against the Broncos. For more Houston Texans content, y'all follow me for more. Go H-Town. Everyone, have a very blessed day.